Hello.
Hello, how are
Hey,
we?
Karina. How are you?
Good. How's your day?
It's going good. How is yours?
Good. Just went to a property, did find some little bits and bobs. My desk work will start now, so to say.
Okay, nice, nice. Were you just viewing something?
Well, no, we're taking on a property for management. So it's down the road. The people that are currently have it as a rental say manage it. So we're gonna take over and manage it for them and see how we can go on from there.
Sounds good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it sounds good. Um, so I feel like we're gonna. I
What
want to get
happened?
in. I want to get into
Yeah.
everything you're doing. Um, but I sort of want to set it up so
Right.
it's a little bit like a short podcast kind of thing. Um, so we can both
Oh,
like
cool.
put ourselves out there a little bit. Um, and
Sounds good.
yeah, and specifically for the hotel niche because there's podcasts and there's a few different things going on. Obviously, um, there was a podcast award yesterday, so um, but we don't we
Yes.
want to do something different. But yeah, and that was
Yeah.
Colin.
No, I was the one that went about the mums podcast.
You started a podcast.
Well, no, but I was trying to get permission to start one, which Sam at the state said, just do it. That's literally what he told
Oh,
me. I
was
was
it
like,
you?
yeah, me and a couple of people, but I've had already talked to him about it. And it's so nice to just have someone just tell you, yep, go do it. Like
Yeah,
when you
awesome.
start putting it out there and I like the content, we're gonna endorse it. So
Oh,
yeah.
lovely. Have you started making that then?
No, for now, what I wanted to build first was a community
Yeah,
of maybe you can use this a little bit just to get started, but
yeah,
I had reached out to someone who already does a podcast about mums in property.
yeah,
And I I saw the need for mums to be very blunt and honest about how it is to deal with the house, deal with the children, deal with partners and all of that whilst
yeah,
you're doing property because it is a niche, so to say, it is a limited type of person that it takes for to be in that position. Very, very lucky people get to that position. However,
yeah.
it is also a full-time job. So how do you juggle it all? And I had reached out to a podcast because it was sort of aligned with the theme that they had. But yeah, it's just like initially we were like, yes, let's build this community together. And then they were like, actually, and then we just stopped having conversations about it. So I said, you know what? I've already had enough conversations with moms that said they want this space, they need this space. So that's what I'm currently working on. That's why I set up Property Mom Club. It's
Okay,
basically if you're
nice.
doing anything related to property, if you're investing, if you're cleaning, if you're, I don't know, staging, anything that you're doing in property and whatever stage you're at, you're learning, you are an established business person, you're in between. Like we can come together as people that have the same, we can come together as people that ha carry the same problems, so to say. But, well, sorry, I won't say problems. People that carry the same challenges. However, we can help each other along the way. Hopefully, bring business collaborations and also, yeah, just have a place where you can be raw and honest about what's your day looking like in property today. Because sometimes it sucks.
Yeah, well, my wife is having that exact problem, to be fair. So we did a financial freedom challenge with Samuel and the team a week or two ago, and she, she was going out with my brother to do viewings, and they brought the baby with them, and she hasn't been on many viewings, but apparently, so she thought the estate agent was being quite blunt, but my brother had spoken to that agent before, and he was like, "Oh no, that was him being nice," because when he spoke to
Mm.
Sebastian, he was very confrontational.
Yeah.
But he was a little bit more pleasant towards Paula.
Yeah.
So that
I've
was
noticed this.
pros
I've
and cons
noticed
I've
this.
heard.
No, it's in my experience and from what I heard, it's always a con to bring the children along. I know it's oh, sorry, it's always a pro. Sorry, that's what I meant. It's always a pro to bring the children
Oh,
along
right, good, yeah,
viewing.
yeah,
Yeah, because it loosens up the agent a little bit. You know, they're tired of talking about just trying to get the commission off of one viewing, see if you're going to rent it, or if you're trying to create creative strategies such as a rent to rent, a lease option, whatever you're trying to do that is out there as a creative solution in the property market. They can't be bothered. So bringing a child along and showing the real you actually shows them that you're human, and it also brings a little sweet treat to their day because you know their customer is like, you know, whatever age your child is, and
yeah,
you know it just brings a little bit of more reality into it. The only cons are on the mothers that have to juggle. I had this happen
yeah,
to me actually.
exactly.
Sorry, I just need to share one thing. I was about to go into a viewing and my child was in the car and had drank too much, soaked herself, you know, did a lot of number ones, and I was like, right, I need to change this girl's
Yeah,
clothes. I was in the middle of nowhere. There was no shops, no anything. And me as a mother, I had a viewing in 10 minutes. And I was like, how am I gonna get over this? I saw a quick shop that I was like, right, that's fine. $7, £7 dress, put it on, change, and
oh
go.
wow.
So, like, but you know, again, it's the cons is not for the agent, it's for the moms that have to juggle around whatever that situation is that they're going through.
That's what I
But
meant, yeah.
yeah, they don't care. For them, it's like a nice little sweet treat in one of, you know, the thousands of people that they see throughout that week. So I think that that is something that as a mom, it's really hard for us to get around. But one of the things that I've noticed is actually it's not bad. We just need to get over our fear of it's going to be terrible because I have my kids.
Yeah, not at all. I think it's very admirable for to see people coming around taking their kids on viewings. Uh,
Mm,
you know, and of course, like mums do the most important work in the world. So, and it's obviously it's not an easy task. Um,
no.
but yeah, no, I understand that perfectly because I get an earful every evening if I complain.
Yes, 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 yes. When we need help, we just need someone that sometimes understands a little bit more so you can have that raw, you know, this is what I'm going through and I'm really struggling.
Yeah,
So,
sounds like a good
yeah.
topic
But
for a podcast.
yeah, so yeah, we've currently got 55 women inside and outside the academy. Your wife is very
Hmm.
welcome to join us as well.
That would be pretty good,
Some people
actually.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do is basically it's just to bring people along on the journey. Um, some people can't afford education, could afford to start getting work started somehow by providing a service, so to say. So, you know, we would just we want to empower women in that sense. It's like it's not because you're a mom that you don't get to do the things that you want to do,
Yeah.
and it's creating a space for that. We're 55 members in a short month, and I'm hoping that we can reach 100 early next year so then we can start looking into progress. There's actually currently a conversation in the group going on about doing like our own style of a financial freedom challenge.
Hmm.
And today is the last day of the 48-hour social media challenge, which is just do one post that you're doing, like anything you're doing regarding property, or just introduce yourself. If you haven't done anything on social media, just do it, and we will basically tag another mom so we can basically get the word out that you're doing this. And then everybody supports each other. So that was our first challenge. It was very short notice, so not everybody's got to it, but we've got about 25 posts like enhanced. And now the idea is putting maybe like something like a little financial freedom challenge mum version together. and get it on from there. It's a community. It's like to do stuff together. And I'm hoping a lot of people in the
Mm.
community are very like everyone has something to bring on. So maybe the podcast could work. And just
Yeah, I think so. When you've got an audience, it's always easy to start with something without feeling like losing track of why you're doing it. Because when you've got such a
yeah,
specific, you don't need to have thousands of views. All you need is 10 people who really like what you do to feel like
exactly.
it's worth doing.
Yeah.
And then you can snowball it from there. Um,
The idea.
so yeah, so the obviously this podcast or this idea, this interview is going to be focused around hotels and the hotel
Yes.
industry. So I understand you have experience. I would just like to ask you, like, what's your experience in the hotel sector?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been walking on the back aisle of big hotels since I was about 15 years old when I started working. My dad actually, since I was the age of 10, he did hotel weddings. So I would, this was in Japan. It was at a Four Season hotel or any other hotel. And Japan is a funny industry. You get married, you're born Shinto, you get married Christian, and you die a Buddhist. That's what they say.
Oh wow.
So they believe God is everywhere, so to say. So for from early 2000s, there was a big pick up on Christian wedding, and
Mm.
these hotels found a way to monetize it by doing the ceremony for 30 minutes, and then they use the event rooms in the hotels for the separate ceremony, like whatever the after parties were. So my dad would literally do like 15 weddings, 10 20 weddings was maximum a day, I think. And
Wow,
since
spreading
then,
spreading Christianity through commercial
exactly, through
viability.
commercial. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was
Wow.
my first like interaction with a hotel, not like just walking in as a client, but I would stay behind the sound desk or sometimes just walk behind where the staff was having their own lunch and their dining room and all of that. So that was my first experience. Later on, I went to work at that hotel, catering at first, later was wedding MC and the party MC, depending on what the guests wanted. Always loved it. Always loved seeing people coming and going with a smile on their face. So always had a little bit of this like customer centric thing. And
Mm.
when I had my first job, I worked in technology and I used to do Wi-Fi setups for hotels. So I did actually do a lot of like technology stuff for hotel systemization and all of that. And I just couldn't get rid of it, so to say. So when one of my clients turned to me and said, "Look, we're about to open up a hostel branch across the world. It's going to be global. Would you like to join us?" I jumped at the first opportunity and started to work. My first job was literally just cleaner than receptionist, but I got to a position where I was the global like operations manager, which was a very prestigious place to be.
Yeah, so you've literally got, global experience in hotels and hostels. What countries have you been in
Yeah.
working in the industry?
So I've and I've worked a little bit in Brazil as well. Not for long. I haven't spent much time in Brazil. That's where I'm from. But the hostel world, I actually did work in Japan, in Mexico. Did a little bit of work related to Vietnam because we had a branch there. I never actually got to go there.
Hmm,
And yeah, those are the three countries that like are majorly in my heart that I used to work in. Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. I didn't realize were you born in Japan?
No, I was born in Brazil, but I was raised in Japan. So when I was
Okay.
2, my parents were out there for work. So yeah, not a lot of choice, just lived in Japan for 20 something years.
Wow, amazing. I really want to go to Japan. I've been trying to learn Japanese, but I'm still not good.
Yeah,
Um,
no, just
yeah.
go. You'll love it. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a great family holiday for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we will eventually. Um, so, in terms of obviously you've got a wealth of experience, and together a community. I wanted to start with you because you're one of the most outgoing and outgoing people, and you sort of helped me when I was having some questions about a deal I was trying to stack.
Yeah.
So, what can you provide to the group, and what would you like to provide? What's your business model, and is there
Yeah.
anything that people can ask you? What do you have
Yeah,
to say?
of course. I'm trying to think like I work in tech, so obviously I love like systems, systemization, anything that you need like on the backbones that you're a little bit unsure of, how to set up accounts, how to connect channel managers. I can do that. I have selected channel managers myself in the past for for this hostel business I used to run, but currently I am running my own rent to essays, to take on some management of other ones as well. So I am very happy to do like the practical day-to-day questions that you might have on how to systemize things. And I'm very obsessed with detail, like customer service and all of that. So if you are trying to do small things that will mean a lot to your customers, or want to know more about that, I'm happy to provide any information I can. I think I have a very high standard of customer centricity just because I come from a Japanese training background as well. And everything you do is like, it's the customer is king and the best. So if you want to learn about those things, I'm happy to share my insights and my experience in how that might be able to work out for you, or how can you do it with maybe less hands-on, but maybe systemize a way that you can provide it for your cleaners, for your management company, whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah, reach out to me about that. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
great. Yeah, so we come obviously from the background of being in a property investment group, and at the
Yeah.
moment, a lot of the people are looking towards hotels as really good options.
Yeah.
I wonder if you want to comment on that. Why do you think that is?
I understand it. The hostel I used to work at, the way it was a self check-in, enclosed, no people in reception and that sort of thing. It is a very interesting thing, and it does allow a lot of business to happen. I am not against it. I am, however, very much aware that sometimes a human element makes all difference as well.
Yeah,
So I'd always say if you're jumping on to any of the contained hotels or the self-serviced hotels, just make sure that there is some human element to it. Like it's not a robot or a system that's welcoming your guests. And spend a little bit of time thinking about like how can you put your name, put your human side to it. How can you add that little touch that is going to obviously, if you're looking just for profit, then you're just looking for profit. But if you're looking for a long-lasting business, then you've got to be attached to it in some way as an owner. That's how most hotels last a long, long way anyway. So
yeah,
yeah, be
absolutely.
creative with that. Don't forget of that human element and stuff. And if you just want to put a robot lodge, then you better install a robot, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that because I've got a oh, are you frozen? Oh, there you are.
Sorry, say that
Yeah,
again. It
so
lagged a little bit.
yes, I know. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a hospitality background as well, so I appreciate where you're coming from with that. Because I think a lot of the property investors are looking for somewhere that they can put their money and have it systemized,
Hmm.
and minimize the amount they need to spend while maximizing the profit margins. But
Yeah.
having spoken to some people, I've heard that they're getting better occupancy rates if they serve breakfast, and better customer
Service.
satisfaction, better reviews, and that obviously just lends itself to your business. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't count out having any staff at all. But at the same time, of course, we need to be efficient. So yeah,
Always do the one of my jobs at the hostel was to find out how we can do more with less people. So, it's not only about what happens behind the computer, it's actually what happens behind the doors, where are your lockers, how are you going to check your linens and that sort of thing. Like, how are you going to
mm,
communicate with the cleaners? How are the guests going to see certain things? So always just take a little bit of extra time and effort to go through the motions of, right, there is a human being who is going to be doing this on my behalf. How can I improve, or how can I help them be the most efficient with the little time that I pay them for? And what are the little investments here and there that I can make so that we can just, like, I can still support them remotely, but they I want to reword this. So the headaches happen on the ground,
Mm,
not on the laptop, so to say. So the
okay.
more you support your ground workers from the back end of things, the more they're going to be happy to work with you and work for you, and
Mm,
it just works in a positive way. So a little bit of more time in systemizing, a little bit more time in making their life efficient, or using your creativity to do that will help your business run smoothly, rather than you having them handle all the headaches for you on the ground and you're not providing whatever
okay.
support you can from the background. I think it's a team effort at the end of the
Yeah.
day. You can't do one without the other.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So no, so for context, no hotel can exist without any staff at all. You're always going to
Mm,
need somebody to clean the
yeah.
linens, change the sheets, at a bare minimum. So you're saying that you need to have systems in place to make their life as easy as possible in order for
Mhm.
them to be happy and for a systemized business to actually work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the less money you want to use on, let's say, hiring someone, the more systems you'll need to educate that staff change as well. So let's say
Right.
you've got someone that goes in and changes the linen and they're happy with their job, but eventually something happens, they're working minimum wage. Let's go to the next thing. You got to be prepared to train another person quickly and as efficiently. That's why spending a lot of time in the systemization and the optimization of the business is key for you to get a good return of your investment.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Um, so I'd like to move on to a question which might sound a little bit selfish, but I'm sure it could help other people as well. How can
Yeah.
I become a hotel owner from your perspective?
Mm. That's really good. I think one of the things that I did when I started off is just go to other hotels, see what they're doing, not even look at the ads. I know a lot of people just look at the money effects and like how much money can we make, and you just do your DD based off of the numbers. But when you're actually becoming a hotel owner, first you need to understand what a hotel is and what kind of hotel you want to provide, because it's very different. If let's say you want to provide a five-star experience, or if you want to provide a three-star experience, so three. So you need to know what you're aiming for and what is going to be, who's going to be your clients, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's, yeah, and I'm getting a phone call. I just want to make sure it's not a mental call.
Yeah, carry on.
Give me just a sec. No, it's not. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot.
If you need to leave and take it, then I think we've.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
All good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, so basically understand the business you're trying to get into and understand what are you willing to provide. Then you go into actually, right, this is the deal I want to invest in. This is how much I want to invest in. And just make sure that, that is you've done your DDs. It's not just about looking at the numbers. It has a lot of elements that go into that business. I think hotels are like a very long service business. So you have to see it that way as well. This is not a short-term commitment. This is a long-term commitment. And if I get stuck with it for the next 5 years, how am I going to do this? How is my life going to look like when I'm signing up on this? And for you to become a hotel owner, you got to learn how to read contracts, I think. I personally think.
Oh, that's a good tip because that's not
Yeah,
something that a lot of people think about straight away, is it?
No, I think the finance aspect, people are quite good at looking at it, but like the finance and the contracts are very important. I tell this from experience because our hostel in Mexico didn't have a break clause and it was a rent to rent. We had structural issues when we opened it up and we just couldn't come out of it. So we needed to raise more finance, invest back, and do everything. So I think knowing how to read a contract is very important because, again, that's going to be part of your license, your hotel, all your anything that you need to clear off to run a hotel and hiring people. You just need it. It's an essential skill basically for you to run that sort of business, especially when you're planning to be at as off hands as possible.
Yeah, so really make sure you nail down the fine print and make sure you're happy
Yeah.
with it. Read every line.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. Yeah. You mentioned finance. Is there any tips or tricks that you could give to the audience
Yeah.
on that topic?
Raising finance is there's lots of ways. I'm no expert by all means, but one of the things we've done in the past, and I give you the Mexico hostel as an example, when we found out the issue of the structure, we already had three investors in, and they were like, we're not giving any more money to this. So we had to look elsewhere. Obviously a bank wasn't going to give us because they were like, it's your fault and this is risky business. You can't open
Mm.
up a business where. So we used social media actually for leverage. I was recording the entire process of how it went, where it went from. Everyone in Japan, because I was sent off from Japan, knew what was happening with the hostel the entire time. So when we
Mm.
came to that issue, we actually created it's not a GoFundMe page, but something similar for investors.
Right,
And
yeah.
basically, if they invested a certain amount, we would send something back for them, or they would have like a lifetime stay or something of the sort. I think there's another platform that does that for products and services, I think. I can't remember the name right now, but it's basically they invest in you and you give something back as a thank you. It could be the contribute depending on the contribution amount, it can be as small as a little gift from the hotel area, from yourselves, a little handwritten card, or maybe one of the things we did at the hostel was to put a plaque on whoever's given money to and say this person has contributed to the
Wow.
as an investor to the funding of this hotel. And that's how we were able to raise around, I want to say, 30,000 pounds.
Amazing. Wow.
So there are creative ways to go
Yeah.
about it. Always share your story, share what you're doing, because then some people might, come through with the rest of the end. And I still have the page. I'll send you later the page,
Oh,
but
that'd be great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very well done. And yeah, we hit our target and it was really good to, have a lot of people believe in the project as much as we did through us. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
there are creative ways to raise finance for you to do this sort of thing.
that's a great story as well, about getting creative. You covered so much in that. You mentioned marketing. You mentioned you were doing a rent to rent, and then you were sort of left hung out to dry. You couldn't find any finance, and you got really creative. But because you were posting on social media, everybody, and you basically crowdfunded it, right?
Yeah, it was basically, yeah, crowdfunding. Yeah, that's what's it. Yeah.
And instead of, this is really interesting, that instead of paying them a fixed rate return on their money, you gave them some sort of little bonus. But
Yeah, it was just a little thank you. Yeah, sometimes I
yeah,
actually, in the crowdfunding page, I'll have a look later, but like one of them was because we were in Mexico, we said, look, we've got these nice little Mexican style notebooks. Would you like to have them? Or like a magnet from a kitchen or something, depending on how much they could contribute. We'd source them at a very low cost because we did like a bunch of like purchases. And then
yeah.
what I did is someone flew out to Mexico just to do like a month of internship. So they just took all of that back and then emailed and shipped to everyone as a great thank you for raising. So you need to, when you're doing crowdfunding as well, you need to factor in those costs of like posting, purchasing, and all of
Mm,
that when you're raising the money. That was one thing that I learned as we went as well. But that's a conversation for another day. I
that's
don't want to get.
amazing. But yeah, sorry, I'll just summarize quickly. So you literally started a merch line to fund the rest of the refurb for the hotel, the hostel in Mexico. What a great story. Right. Thank you so much for your time. Are we still there? Hello, hello. Are we still here? Hello?
Hey, it logged me out for some reason. I'm just trying to reconnect, okay?
Okay, we're
All right,
back.
I'm back.
Lovely. I just wanted to finish off and wrap up quickly.
Yep.
You've got some great little gold nuggets in there. That was really interesting. I'm sure people will appreciate it. Um, I just wanted to ask how can people get in contact with you? And oh, are you still there? Hello. Oh, there you
You're
are.
back.
Right. All I need is 2 minutes. Um,
All right, we'll make it happen.
yes. So, brilliant. How can people get in contact with you then?
Yes, reach out to me on my mobile. Tap me, or just literally pick up the phone. I might not answer. I'm onboarding a PA this week because I've been on my phone too much, but we'll schedule in the call so we can talk about whatever your need is, or just message me. Are you there? Okay. Anytime you
Yeah.
see me, just say hi. I wanted to talk to you, like hotel buzzword, just throw something at me because I'll tr always try to make some time to talk to someone about hotels. It's something that I want. I do want to own a hotel. That's really one of my personal desires. So yeah, open to discussing more hotels. I'm up to share a journey.
Ah, that was a great interview. Thank you so much. Hopefully, I can piece things together from the lagging and the cutting out. But yeah, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure
No
a lot of people
worries.
in the hotel community will as well. But yeah, have a great evening and good luck with your Mums in Property podcast. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I get my probably my wife and my sister involved. This is ridiculous, isn't it? Did you hear anything I said?